Still like really struggling.
Okay.
I think probably I felt like I made it when I got like my advance, when I signed to Young Money, Lil Wayne's label.
Oh, sure, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, oh.
In hip-hop, success can make everything look easy. The fame, the money, the sold-out shows, and millions of fans can make it seem like an artist was always destined to become a superstar. But behind some of the biggest female rappers in the world, there were years of rejection, failed opportunities, people who didn't believe in them, and moments when their careers could have gone in a completely different direction. Some were told they didn't fit the industry's image, some struggled to get record deals, and some simply had to keep going until someone finally recognized their talent. Today, we're looking at 5 female rappers who faced rejection or major obstacles before becoming stars. And the first story is about a rapper who was told she didn't have the right image. Let's get into it. Missy Elliott. Before Missy Elliott became one of the most influential women in hip-hop, the music industry didn't exactly know what to do with her. Missy had already been working on music, writing songs, and performing with her group Sista. But things didn't go according to plan. Sista was signed to Elektra and recorded an album, but the project was never released. The group eventually fell apart. For Missy, it was a huge setback, but instead of giving up, she started focusing on songwriting and production. She began working with Timbaland, and the two started creating music for other artists. Then came a painful moment. Missy has spoken about being rejected as a solo artist because executives felt she didn't have the right look. According to her, she was told that she could sing, she could write, but that she looked wrong. That rejection could have destroyed her confidence. Instead, it pushed her in another direction. She became a songwriter, a producer, and eventually one of the most important creative forces in music. Her work with Aaliyah helped establish her reputation, and suddenly, the same industry that had overlooked her wanted her. Elektra eventually gave Missy something much bigger than a normal artist deal.
I gotta thank her because she heard the specialness in us.
Right.
Because when Sugar and Spice, she's like, there's something special about Tim and Missy.
She received her own label, Gold Mind, and creative control over her music and image. Then came her debut album, Supa Dupa Fly, and the woman who had once been told she didn't fit the image became a superstar. Missy's story proves something important. Sometimes, rejection doesn't mean you're not good enough. Sometimes, it means the industry hasn't figured out what to do with you yet. Nicki Minaj. Before Nicki Minaj became one of the biggest female rappers in history, she was trying to break into entertainment in a completely different way. As a teenager, Nicki wanted to become an actress. She attended LaGuardia High School in New York and started auditioning for acting roles, but things didn't go the way she expected. Nicki later recalled being shocked when she went to auditions and didn't get callbacks. She had expected people to recognize her talent, but instead, the opportunities weren't coming. She even described sitting by the phone, waiting for someone to call, and realizing that nobody was. It was frustrating, but that disappointment helped push her toward another path, music. Nicki eventually started rapping, recording mixtapes, and building a following online. Instead of waiting for Hollywood to give her an opportunity, she created her own. Her mixtapes began attracting attention, and eventually,
Still like really struggling. I
Okay.
think probably I felt like I made it when I got like my advance, when I signed to Young Money, Lil Wayne's label.
Oh, sure, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, oh.
Lil Wayne discovered her talent and signed her to Young Money. Then everything changed. Nicki went from an artist trying to get noticed to one of the biggest names in hip-hop. Pink Friday became a massive success. Her singles dominated the charts, and her personality became impossible to ignore. The woman who once couldn't get callbacks was now getting calls from the biggest names in music, and that's what makes Nicki's story so powerful. Sometimes, the door that closes forces you to find a better one. Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion's rise looked almost unstoppable, but before the mainstream success, there was a period when major labels weren't completely convinced. Megan was already building a name for herself independently. Her freestyles were spreading online, her Houston identity was becoming part of her brand, and her fan base was growing. But getting major industry support wasn't easy. Even people with experience in the music business had to fight to get executives to take her seriously. In 2018, Q-Tip reportedly tried to help Megan secure a deal with major labels including Columbia and Def Jam, but the meetings didn't produce the kind of offers he believed she deserved. The industry was hesitant, and some executives were looking heavily at social media numbers instead of simply trusting the talent in front of them. But Megan didn't wait around. She kept releasing music, kept performing, and kept building her audience. Then came songs like Big Ol' Freak, and her career started moving faster. Her freestyle videos became viral moments, her fan base exploded, and eventually, the major labels couldn't ignore her anymore. Megan became a Grammy-winning superstar, a Billboard chart topper, and one of the biggest female rappers of her generation. And the interesting part, the people who once hesitated were now watching her become one of the biggest artists in the world. Megan's story shows that sometimes you don't need the industry to believe in you first. You need enough people listening until the industry has no choice. Cardi B. Cardi B's story is different because when she first entered the public spotlight, most people didn't immediately see her as the next major rap superstar. She became famous through reality television and social media, and her personality quickly turned her into a recognizable celebrity. But becoming a respected recording artist was a completely different challenge. There were plenty of people who questioned whether Cardi could make the transition from reality star into serious rapper. But Cardi didn't try to become someone else. She used the attention she already had and turned it into music. Her early mixtapes helped establish her as an artist, and then came Bodak Yellow. Everything changed. The song became a massive hit, and Cardi became the first female rapper in years to dominate the charts with a solo record. Suddenly, the woman many people had underestimated was sitting at the top of the music industry. Her debut album, Invasion of Privacy, became a major commercial success, and she eventually became a Grammy-winning artist. What makes Cardi's story interesting is that she wasn't given the traditional path to superstardom. She wasn't discovered as a teenage musical prodigy, and she didn't come from an established rap dynasty. She created attention first, then turned that attention into a music career, and once she proved herself, the industry couldn't ignore her. Lil' Kim. Before Nicki, before Cardi, before Megan, there was Lil' Kim. But even Kim had to fight to establish herself in a male-dominated industry. When she entered hip-hop, female rappers were often expected to fit into very specific roles. Kim refused. She was aggressive, confident, sexual, and completely unapologetic. Her connection with the notorious B.I.G. and Junior MAFIA helped put her on the map. But becoming a solo star required something more. She had to prove that a woman could dominate hip-hop, not simply participate in it. Her debut album, Hardcore, changed the conversation. Kim's music, fashion, and image became hugely influential. But getting there required pushing against the expectations surrounding female artists. She didn't simply follow the rules, she changed them. And eventually, her influence became impossible to deny. Lil' Kim became one of the most recognizable women in hip-hop, and her style influenced generations of female rappers who came after her. Her story isn't about one famous person saying no. It's about an entire industry having expectations, and Kim refusing to let those expectations define her. She didn't wait for hip-hop to create a place for her. She created her own. Missy Elliott was rejected because executives didn't think she fit their image and turned that rejection into creative control. Nicki Minaj experienced rejection in acting before finding her real calling in hip-hop. Megan Thee Stallion faced industry hesitation, but built enough momentum that the industry couldn't ignore her. Cardi B was underestimated as a reality star and proved she could become a legitimate rap superstar. And Lil' Kim fought against the expectations placed on female rappers and helped change the culture itself. Their stories are different, but the lesson is the same. Being rejected doesn't mean you're finished. Sometimes it's the beginning of the journey, because the people who don't believe in you today might be watching you succeed tomorrow, and these 5 women proved exactly that. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.